Hello, everyone. I'm not sure if I'm live yet or not. This is such a confusing platform. If you are with me, please comment in the comment section to let me know if you can see me. But I'm going to assume that that's what's happened. So, hello, everyone. I'm Erin Lee of heavenlymessenger.com. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Connection with Intention and Oracle Chats minus Miss Bobbi Rowntree, born medium. Bobbi contacted me early this morning and she said, I feel just awful. I'm so sorry that I can't join you for the live today. So if you have any love or healing thoughts that you can send her way, I'm sure that she would be most appreciative and most grateful for anything that you can send. So this is kind of unusual. We don't have anybody joining us yet. And usually when I post to my page, we've got lots of people who at this point would have already joined in. So bear with me, especially if we are live right now and you're just watching, hop onto Facebook and check and see what the heck's going on. Well, it looks like yep, we are live. Oh, but I can see on my stream, oh, darn, I can see that Deidre and Yale have both commented, but I'm not seeing your comments coming up on my screen, which is incredibly frustrating. Bear with me, my friends, because that also means I'm not seeing anybody from either of the YouTube channels or from Bobbi's page either. So this could be a very, very quick Oracle Chats and Connection with Intention. Yeah, because I can see that Deidre is posting and I've got lots of comments that are coming in. Thank you so much, Deidre. I am feeling really refreshed. All right, my friends. How the heck are we going to do this when I can't see? Oh, connect chat. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I was on I was online last night for 2 hours, an hour and a half of that talking with our streaming provider about how to see people's names when you comment from Facebook. And they don't have an answer. They say that it can't be done. So we know that it can be done because we've done it before. So bear with us. We're probably for the next one going to have a new streaming provider, which is unfortunate because I really like these guys. But they have a couple of things that just don't work. So having said that, if you are commenting from Facebook, please include your name if you want me to address you by your name. So let me just see here. I'm going to go through and we've got a Facebook user with the heart face and new moon tomorrow. Yes, it is. And lots of well wishes for Bobbi. And hello to a Facebook user. We've got Bobbi's automatic thing popping up. Oh, look at that. Debbie, hello. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Debbie has joined us from YouTube, and for some reason we can see the names on YouTube. So if that's an option for you, pop over and join us from there. And Debbie again, hands up. Linda says, hi, Bobbi and Erin. Thank you both. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for joining me. Yes, hold on because I will be doing some readings in a little bit, but I'm going to ask you to wait until I've gone through and said hello to everybody. And I'm also going to do something a little different that I do on my Connection with Intention show. Amazing. Thank you, Linda, for letting me know that you see me and refresh your phone. Perfect. Great to see you online. It's so good to see you too. Thank you for joining me. So, oops, sorry. I'm sitting on my ball here and it just slid. All right, so I'm just going to take a moment to kind of get in. Sometimes the techie stuff gets a little bit silly and a little bit crazy. So So how have the last couple of weeks been for you? There's been so much that's been going on. We're kind of halfway through the holidays and the holiday season. All of my sensitive peeps, how are you doing out there? It's been a pretty intense time. I know for myself, I was really fortunate, which is an unusual way to put this. My family decided that instead of coming to visit us here on Vancouver Island from Saskatchewan, that they were going to go to the Dominican instead. And the other part of my family that we would love to have here, they aren't able to travel to see us. So this year it was a really quiet year. Of course, missed all of my family and loved ones that, I didn't see, but there's part of me that was grateful too, because it took a lot of the pressure and the stress off of what the holiday season can be. And so my parents do live close, so we had the opportunity to have a meal together. We weren't particularly prepared. I mean, we were prepared. We had an idea of what we were going to do for our main dish, but nobody took it out of the freezer. It was just kind of one of those. I think I thought my mom was doing it. Maybe she thought I was doing it. I didn't realize it was in the freezer. So we ended up having scrambled eggs for for Christmas dinner, which was awesome. And we just did the main meal another night. So that's kind of how it's been here. It's been really relaxing. How about you? Let me know in the comments. How was the holiday season for you? Thank you for the breathe reminder. I appreciate that. And Judy says, Happy New Year. Hi, Happy New Year. I'm so glad you're here. Somebody said that they're in their PJs. Amazing. Or that could also have been how they spent the holidays in the PJs, which is amazing. I've got lots of things I know for myself that I want to do. I'm going to do some like affirmation and some manifestation, some releasing as we head into the new year. We've got the new moon tomorrow, which is a really exciting time. It's a time of manifestation, of fresh starts, of new beginnings, but also is a time to kind of withdraw. It's one of the times in that lunar cycle that tends to be the least socially engaged and interactive, and more internal and introspective. And for me, that's always a really exciting time. It's easier to become clear on what it is that you're ready to release. Like, you can really dig deep and to search and to acknowledge, hey, like, I'm done with this, or I've healed this, or this is maybe what I'm going to focus on in my healing. And also become really clear on, what is it that I'm wanting to create? What am I wanting to experience? There are so many different times throughout the year when it feels really natural to go through this process. And in a lot of ways, New Year's at this time feels a little bit arbitrary, because we're only just slowly starting to ramp up. And it's not really a time when we think of like planting seeds. But at the same time, it can be a really beautiful time for reflection as well. Let's see. Let me see. Janess, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad that you're here and we didn't miss me this time. And somebody on Facebook has said that sounds amazing and a nice time. And they had a relaxing time too. Awesome. And Steve, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining. And Debbie saying, thank you for your time and energy. Always easy and simple holidays there as well. Perfect. I love that energy, because if you look at how our bodies, our natural bodies' rhythms are at these times, it is to slow down, and it is to really focus on ourselves, to be quiet, to rest. And in some ways, the celebration is contrary to what our body naturally wants. At the same time, it can offer some uplifting energy, but there's a lot of focus on being artificially bright and cheery, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Again, like, it can really help to support getting over the hump, because we are in a lot of darkness and we're still continuing to see darkness for another couple of months. But it can be a difficult time and a challenging time. So allowing yourself to rest is a really beautiful gift to give to yourself. Awesome. And so we've got somebody from Facebook saying that they're traveling New Year's Eve to spend time with your hubby. That's incredible. I'm so excited for you. I hope that you guys have a wonderful time. Wonderful. So I'm kind of bopping around a little bit. How do we want to do this? Hi, Nikki. It's great to see you. There were, you know what? I'm going to really quickly, I'm going to do this. Then we'll go into the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading, and then we'll go into readings. So every year I send out season's blessings cards. In the mail physically, because I think that it's really kind of magical to receive something in the mail that isn't a bill or isn't an ad. And with the cards, I always include a couple of these. And for me, they're kind of intentions that I have for myself and also many people too for the year that's coming. So this was one of the cards, the energy of love in 2025. I also see this as like collaboration, because we've got two people who are joined together, who are making and forming the words for love. Um, I always love these kinds of images as well. I don't know if you can see it too well, but we have this person, I think a woman, but I don't think that really matters. So we have a person who's reaching up and reaching literally for the stars in 2025. So kind of the energy, the intention of being able to reach for something that maybe doesn't seem completely possible, but encouragement to lift it up. The last card that I sent out this year is probably one of the ones that has resonated for me for a very long time, though I didn't completely realize it. And it is the energy of writing my own story. And for me, this comes from a couple of different perspectives. Writing your own story in terms of, what is it that you're wanting to experience in 2025? What do you want to invite in? This can be in relationships and in partnerships. This can be in experience in day-to-day life. This can be experience in your spirituality and your growth and your personal development. This can be experience on a physical level, like maybe we're wanting to travel and explore. Maybe we're looking at experiences within like family structures and friendships, or experiences in work. And what is it that you want to experience? And taking time to kind of set that intention now, and to look forward into 2025 and what you're kind of wanting to experience. I have always loved doing vision boards. I thought they've been a lot of fun. I've evolved what I've done over the years, and there's this really cool program by a lady. Her name is Mia, and her website, her company is selfmadeladies.com. And she guides and leads you through questions around healing, and also becoming really clear and really specific in what it is that you're trying to create, and leads you through creating your vision board in Canva, which is an online editing program. There is a free version. There are also paid versions as well. You could use any sort of art kind of program. The thing that I love about this over doing magazines is you can choose exactly what it is that you want. And one of the limitations with using magazines is that you're really limited to whatever's in the book. And so you're not able to necessarily get specifically the image you want. The cool thing with being able to do things on from a technological point of view is you can include pictures of yourself. You can include pictures of things that you've really loved, that you really enjoyed, and kind of help to boost and build that energy up. And then in the past, what I've done is I've printed them out, and I've used them for the fronts of books, like for my my planner and my scheduler, or I've had them up on the wall. So anyway, just wanted to throw out there. And then one of my girlfriends earlier today sent me the coolest idea. It's a 2025 bingo, and you put on it the things that you're wanting to experience. And I thought, how fun and playful is that? You could include things that are maybe quote unquote relatively easy to accomplish, to attain, and also include some of those bigger things. Because when it comes to manifestation and creation, we want to include the things that we're already grateful for, so that we can help to bypass ego and what ego has to say about it. I didn't explain that very well, so let me back up a second. So, when we are creating something, creating an experience that we don't currently have in our lives, and maybe we haven't currently experienced it before. So I'm going to one that feels like it's really easy to pull out is oh, there are two. We're going to go with finances. We're going to go into money and finances. And so possibly a person has not had the experience of feeling financially stable in their lives. And so maybe this is one of the things that this person is wanting to manifest and to experience over the coming year and beyond, hopefully. And part of that could be like in statements. So I am all of my needs financially are provided for and taken care of. I have money to spare and share. And so, like all of these different types of affirmations this person could be using, but ego is sitting here and being the loudmouth that it is, and it's saying, well, that's not going to happen. You don't have anything to base that on, and just kind of getting in there like the ickiness that ego can be. So, if you sandwich those experiences, those new experiences, with things that you already know to be true, and are already grateful to be experiencing, then you can kind of fool and bypass ego. So if you decided to try a 2025 bingo card, putting in things that either you're already experiencing or that you know are going to be relatively easy for you to experience, then you're raising the energy and vibration of what you can experience, which I thought was a really cool idea. The other, the other, uh, hold on a second, you guys. I'm so sorry. I think we've got a spammer on here. Let me see if I can get rid of them. It's just, we've got this person who is saying that they're a regular viewer of the show and to message them and like, shoot. So I'm not actually able to get rid of this. This is so frustrating. If somebody sends you a message, know that that's not how Bobbi or I work, and just please let them do their thing. I will have to take care of them after the live stream. It's just really disappointing that they felt that they could come here. So back off, guy or girl. So the other aspect to writing your own story in 2025 is the idea of the stories that we tell about how we came to this point. And there could be an opportunity here to take a look and see what it is that you tell yourself about how you came to this point, and just making sure that that is honoring where you are right now and where you're wanting to go, as opposed to being stuck back in what you've experienced in the past. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore about that. Let me see. This person has completely flooded. Hold on just a moment, you guys. This is really silly. Let me just see where this person is. And there we go. I think I found them. How come I can't see this all? There we go. I think we've got them. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we'll do the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading, because this gives everybody an opportunity to receive a reading, and then I will ask you to throw up your questions. I have lost. Oh, hello from the England, UK, Halifax. Welcome. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. And again, if you would like me to address you specifically, please include your name. If you are joining from Facebook, let me see here. So here's how Choose Your Adventure crystal reading works. amethyst. Great. And I'm hopeful that everybody had an opportunity to choose the card for them. There we go. Amethyst. Awesome, Debbie. I'm so glad. And we've got somebody choosing ametrine as well. I've temporarily forgotten it was citrine, ametrine, and amethyst. So if you chose citrine, the card for you today is Archangel Jeremiah, and it is overcoming difficulties. This is such an amazing card to have come up. The message specifically is the worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. When this message comes up, it says that, yeah, life's been really crazy. It's been really difficult. There's been a lot that you've been working on. And sometimes when we're in that experience, it can be really difficult to allow ourselves to just relax into the comfort and the awareness that everything is okay. And we can kind of be caught in this place where we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And this card is saying, breathe, relax, know that you are coming into, oh, that's so frustrating, that you're coming into a place of peace where things are getting better, they're getting easier, and you're no longer overwhelmed. So again, if you've chosen citrine, things are getting better. Breathe, relax, and have the expectation that things are continuing to get better. If you chose ametrine, the message we have here is from Archangel Raziel, and his message is spiritual understanding. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. Oh, we've got some funky stuff going on with the lighting here as well. So with this card, when this comes up, it's basically saying, hey, we need to look at the bigger picture here. And not only the bigger picture from like a human physical point of view, but we need to be looking at what's happening from an energetic, from a spiritual point of view. If you're in a place where you've been learning a lot of lessons or have been experiencing lots of challenge, then part of the message that's coming up for you is make sure that you're taking a look at for those bigger messages, that you're open to experiencing those bigger messages as well, because that's part of what's going to move you through the time that you're in right now. So the encouragement that's coming here is meditate or pull some cards, connect with cards, get outside, connect with nature. There are lots of different ways that we can increase our spiritual understanding and our spiritual awareness. You guys, we've got a spammer who I don't think is coming from my page. And I'm not able to block them on Bobbi's page. So we'll continue to do the best that we can. The last card here, if you chose amethyst, is claircognizance, and this card is Archangel Uriel. His message is pay attention to the thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So claircognizance is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. It literally means clear knowing, and it's thoughts and ideas that pop into your head. With this card, what this is saying is you already know what to do about the situation. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and be open to thoughts and ideas coming into your head. These may seem like they, first of all, come from out of the blue, and you're like, I never would have thought of something like that. And you're right, you might not have, because this is your intuition that's talking to you. So this is connection with God, source, universe, angels, ascended masters. This can be connection with deceased loved ones as well. But thoughts and ideas popping into your head are at the forefront here. Awesome. Okay, so we have been completely bombarded and spammed by this person on a page that I'm not able to see. So what I'm going to do, because they're putting in comments like every 5 seconds, and I'm losing all of the actual questions. So Yale, thank you so much for joining us and for asking a question. If you've already asked a question, please ask it again, and I will try really hard to get it amidst all of the ridiculousness that we have here. So Yale, my question, I have 3 potential love interests in my life. Well, a few more, yes, but these 3 are presenting stronger. What comes up with the one with an S initial? What do you see with them for me? Okay, well, hold on. Let me just see what we have coming up. Yeah, I am kind of wanting to really focus on, I'm really wanting to focus on one. Hold on a second. I also am wanting to um, hold on to this question here. Somebody's just asked about divorce. Can you please ask again in a moment once I've finished with Yale's question? I think that's the only way that I'm going to keep track of them today with this spammer. Okay, so Yale, what are we doing with the person whose initial starts with S? Take your time is what I'm hearing. It does feel like this person has some potential. There are some things that still need to come to the surface, which is true of anybody that you meet. Um, yeah, it's going to be true of anybody that you meet because everybody holds back and guards a little bit. This person feels like it may take them a little more time to allow trust to open and allow themselves to really fully be seen. I'm kind of wanting to take a look and talk about trust, what a person needs in order to trust somebody, what they try to do in order to make sure that the people around them trust them. I keep hearing trust over and over and over again. I don't see this as necessarily being a red flag. This does feel like it's maybe a little bit of a pink flag just because it's really going to be dependent on how much work they're willing to do, because it can be it's one thing to say I experience challenge and trust in relationships, but these are the things that I'm doing to overcome that. And it's different from them saying, you know, I have trust issues, and so like that is what it is. So I would want to explore more what it is, how they experience trust in relationship, how they focus on trust, and what kind of healing work they're doing for themselves to overcome that. Otherwise, this person feels like they're a really solid person. I'm noticing that there's some sacral chakra activation. So I'm going to say that there's some pretty solid chemistry that's happening in this relationship and connection, which feels like it's really exciting. So yeah, let's just pull a card for you. Victory. So the card that we have here, this is Archangel Sandalphon. His message is victory. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So when this card comes up, particularly with this kind of question, it says to me that you've been looking for relationship, healthy relationship for some time. You've probably also been really actively focusing on how you can find that partner who really connects with you and are selective in who you're allowing into your energy. When the victory card comes up, it says basically Archangel Sandalphon is saying, hey, like universe, we've got the message. We're working on it. We're focusing on it and we're bringing it to you. So I have really solid feelings around S. It does feel like there are certainly other options, as you've said, but I'm kind of wanting to see what happens, what comes up with your S initial person, because it feels like these are things, if both of you are actively working on it, that can be really supportive. Yael, I'm so incredibly glad that you joined us today. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and support your way. Okay, here we go. I'm not sure I've hit the right person. I feel like there were a couple of other questions that came in, but I know that we were talking to this person here. So this person was asking about finally filing for divorce. I'm finally filing. Will there be repercussions? Will my energy finally be cleared to give a potential partner the green light? Okay. So first of all, I want to celebrate with you the fact that you're at that point where you're ready. Let's take a look and see what we've got coming up. Um, yes. So what I'm seeing is with the filing that there are still some challenges and still some ups and downs. I'm not sure if there are children involved in this relationship and situation, but I am feeling like there's a pull back and forth. So the filing doesn't feel like it means that things have concluded, but it does feel like it's a step forward. I hate saying this. I do feel like we've still got some push and pull that's happening between you and the partner that you are divorcing. It feels like this isn't a completely clear-cut situation. So do be aware that it does feel like there's some additional time and energy that is going to go into the completion of that relationship. That said, it feels like you are really working hard on being able to have your own time, your own space, your own energy. And it does feel like you are really building yourself up. When I ask about relationship and new partnership coming in, I am seeing that, first of all, that there's already somebody in your life. And it does feel like there's some growth and some development that's happening between the two of you. Just based on the messages that were coming up around the marriage or the relationship that's coming to an end, it does feel like you're not ready to completely jump in. But I do see this new partner who's coming in being incredibly happy with the progress that you're making, and it feels like they have the time, the energy to support you as you're kind of navigating that. I do want to encourage you to make sure that you have support outside of your new relationship and partnership. So whether that's friends or family or like a counselor, something kind of along those lines, I want to encourage you to make sure you have support outside of that so that you're continuing to be able to maintain your own energy, your own space, not only from the ending of this old relationship, but also as this new relationship is coming in and evolving, because who you are as a person is still really evolving in a really beautiful way. So I'm excited for you. But yes, to answer your question, it does feel like you're coming into time and space where you are going to have energy for new partnership, new relationship, but it feels like you're still really going to need to make sure that you have lots of time for yourself, because there's a lot of change that's still going on. I love this card. This feels like this is a reminder for me too. We have Archangel Raphael. His message is breathe. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. So when this card comes up, it is to me again like a confirmation of what's already come forward, is to slow down, to step back, to make sure that you are breathing, that you are taking your time, and that you are functioning from your heart and your brain and not out of it like a reaction. And it feels like that's really part of what you're becoming aware of and that you're actively doing, which is so exciting. Facebook user, my friend, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this afternoon. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Okay, so I'm going back to the questions here to see if I can find something other than, let me see. That was the one I was just looking at. Oh, I just had one, and then the commenter came in and pulled me out. This is rude. Let me see. Oh, and it's not even letting me bring up the darn questions. Hold on, my friends. We are going to persevere. Jesus, excuse my language. Okay, I know that I have other people, but I'm literally, every time this person comments, it drops me back down to the last comment. So I'm doing the best that I can. I know that I'm not in order. Debbie, I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for sticking it out and asking a question. I have a wild idea. Ooh, and I'm going to put it on my abundance manifestation for 2025. Amazing. Tips on meditation and finding the solitude. Oh, cool. To get deep into my space. Also, do you have anything around my idea? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take this as two separate questions. The idea that you have feels amazing. Like when I tap into it, I've got like cheerleaders like this, which is awesome. That also says to me that there are probably people around you or somehow in your community that you're able to talk to who are equally excited about your idea and what you're doing. When it comes to new ideas, it can be a little bit challenging because you build it up, or if you're working with somebody else, between the two of you, you're building up together and there's lots of excitement, but it's still little itty bitty. And it's kind of like holding a flame in your hands. And a little tiny flame is really easy for some, hopefully unintentionally negative person to just blow it out. And so one of the things that can be really important with new ideas is holding on to it to build up the energy a little bit more, so it's a big flame instead of a little itty bitty flame. So what I would encourage you to do as you're kind of building this idea, share it selectively with people who you know are going to be encouraging and supportive, and maybe not of any of the negative Nellies. Just hold off for a little bit. But as I said, I'm really excited to see the cheerleaders that are popping up around you, because that says to me that we do have people in your circle who are excited for this, who are supportive, and that it is safe to share with. When I ask from the trajectory of like what's happening with this idea, I do see that there's lots of growth. It feels like there's lots of traction, and it feels like you're able to start really getting it going. I've got some big moments that feel like they're coming up in kind of March, April of 2025. And it feels like at that point, you're really starting to roll with it. There is going to be an evolution with your idea. So the sense that I have is that you're getting into it and you're realizing that there's another direction kind of off to the side that you'd rather pursue, or that will be more supportive of you as you're getting started. Um, and or that there's a new direction that comes out of it, but it feels like it's really positive, and it feels like you're able to move and flow with it. Now, quickly moving to the last part of your question is any tips on meditation and finding the solitude to get deep into my space. Yeah, carving out time where you can, possibly outside of your home. If your home feels loud in any way, and this can be loud in terms of other people or people who aren't on the same page as you, or it could just even be like having a lot of stuff that you haven't had a chance to clear out yet. Honestly, that's part of how my home is feeling right now. It feels loud in that there is stuff that needs to be released. So know that there are a lot of ways that can feel true. So finding a space outside of your home where you feel safe and comfortable, to go into meditation, to go into daydreaming even, can be really helpful and supportive. And the other thing that I'm seeing for you, Debbie, is a moving meditation. I'm seeing like a really beautiful forested kind of walk down towards water if it's available, and it feels like you're visualizing and imagining and seeing and feeling what it's like to be living that idea, living that dream. And those are the things that are coming up really strongly for me, for you, in your meditation and your manifestation practice. Amazing. So we have the claircognizance card that's coming up. So this also came for people who chose Amethyst Day. This is Archangel Uriel. His message is pay attention to the thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So, I mean, like, first of all, you're talking about thoughts and ideas just in general. And this to me feels like this is like a confirmation that, yeah, this is a divinely guided, a divinely inspired idea. Go with it. Flow with it, do it, but also along the process of living it and experiencing it, make sure that you're taking time to allow new thoughts and ideas to either reinforce the direction that you're already on, or to kind of slightly guide and alter your path a little bit, because that makes a really big difference too. Debbie, I'm so glad that you joined us. Thank you for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and lots of support your way. I'm so glad to see you. And please pop back and let us know how your manifestation and your idea goes through 2025. I can hardly wait. Okay, now I am not sure. Let me see. I'm just going to scroll up and see if I can find. Here we go. What do we have here? Okay, I think this comment actually came in relatively recently. So you guys just hop on it. I'll give you a sec and let you know when to post so that I can see it. And I think that'll be the only way to go forward with this. So hi, Erin. What does the universe want me to be aware of or focus on for 2025? Feeling pretty good where life has gotten me so far. Awesome. Just wondering what to expect this year. Oh, and Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra. It's great to hear from you and to see you. Okay. So when I ask for you, what are we focusing on? So I actually have some stretching that's coming up. And although this feels like this could be physical stretching, this also feels like this can be stretching in terms of moving outside of your comfort zone. So life is feeling really good. It's feeling balanced. It's feeling fairly stable. It feels like we've got lots of awesome stuff that's going on. And universe is kind of like, well, let's stretch that a little bit. Let's see what else we can do. So when I ask about that, working career, that feels okay. I don't want to kind of mess with that too much. That there's going to be a natural shift and change positively in your career based on these other things that you're doing. Health and wellness is feeling good, but I am getting that physical stretching. So I'm going to talk about movement for you, making sure that you're pushing a little bit with your movement. So health and wellness is good, relationship is good, family is good. We're going into spiritual growth and understanding. So it feels like you're moving into, I'm going to call it new personal practices or new meditative practices. There's something new that you are adding to your current routine, that feels like it's kind of extending your like little antennae. So it feels like we've got a bit of additional work that's happening from an intuitive point of view. I'm wondering if we've got some deceased loved ones that are popping up more for you as well. I mean, that's more Bobby's cup of work than it is mine. Where else are we going with this new intuitive practice, this new experience? It feels like you're finding areas in your life that are quote unquote safe enough that you can really allow your intuition to come to the forefront in terms of what you're doing. So like when I teach people to learn to really hone and understand their intuition, I always start off by saying, we're not going to start off by using our intuition to make big decisions like moving across the country and taking a brand new job and leaving everything. We're not going to start there. We're going to start with little things so that we can start to trust and start to understand what those intuitive messages are. So things that could be helpful would be like choosing clothes or choosing what you're going to eat or choosing what you're going to do in the afternoon, and allowing your intuition to really guide those choices. Like I feel like you've already got a really solid handle on your intuition, but it feels like we're now starting to really focus on where you can grow and use that on an active and daily basis. Okay, oops. No, hold on. I'm going to grab this next comment before it disappears. Oh no, and then I'm only getting a part of it. So hold on. I've got your card here, Cassandra. I just want to make sure that I get this other person's next comment here, because it looks like it only gives me a couple of lines and then I can't see anything else. Oh, you bugger. Okay, I'm going to give you your card, Cassandra, and then I'm going to hope to be able to find this other person's comment later. So we've got the brilliant idea card. This is Archangel Uriel. Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action and bring your idea to fruition. So I love that this feels like this is kind of a confirmation of what we've already been talking about. Archangel Uriel helps and supports us with claircognizance, which again is one of the 4 primary ways we receive intuitive messages and information. It's literally clear thought or clear knowing. So ideas popping into your head that are intuitive messages. And I love the action part and component because that's really what I'm seeing coming up for you in 2025. There are several steps to intuition. There's, recognizing you're receiving an intuitive message, understanding what the message is, and then taking action on it. And I see 2025 being a year of intuitive action for you. And I'm so excited about that. Cassandra, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and many blessings for 2025. I'm so excited for everything that's happening now and what's to come. Okay, so my friend, let me see if I can get this message long enough to be able to read it. It's been a long time. Thank you. I'm wondering if you have any messages coming up in my career and education for this year. Hold on. Jesus. Facebook user poster, I am so sorry. I'm not able to get back to your message to be able to read it. So I'm going to do one more before you, but please post your question again. I'm so incredibly grateful for the lovely, beautiful compliments that you've shared, but hold on to them and just give me the meat of your question so that I can read it. I'm so sorry to do that. Stephen Bertrand, hello. It's welcome. It's great to see you. Based on claircognizance, I want to collab on my intuition meditation stuff. Who or what comes up when I ask that? Okay, so hold on. Let me just get clear in the question that you're asking. So from a claircognizant point of view. I want to collab on my intuition meditation stuff. Okay, so I'm going to say that we're working with an angel ascended master, somebody who's not in physical form. Because if you were asking about somebody in physical form, the message I have for you is that they would just pop into your life. You're just going to see them, you're going to find them, and then boom, 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 things work out beautifully. This feels like this has more to do with the work that you're doing for yourself. And I've got, hold on, who do we have? We've got Archangel Raziel, we've got Archangel Uriel. I feel like we've got Jesus and oh, I never pronounce his name properly. I want to say Melzicheki. Let me just see here. I've got my Snazzy Dazzy Archangel and Ascended Master book that's just here. So his name is spelled Melchizedek, Melzichek, and I'm seeing him. I haven't personally worked with him that much, but he's popping up for me to share with you. So basically what I'm seeing is that you're working and collaborating with energies who are going to focus on this brain connection with you. They're going to take you up and pull you down, take you up and push you down, take you up and push you down. Sorry, push is the wrong word, but it's basically where you're able to like get out of the physical body, outside of ego that's saying, oh, you can't do this, or this isn't true, this isn't accurate, and they're kind of pulling you, kind of like when somebody's kneading dough. Is really the way that I see it. And one of the best exercises for people who are claircognizant and or are wanting to develop claircognizance is to brainstorm. And the reason for that is because when you brainstorm, you're literally putting ego aside, because you say there is no bad idea. I'm just allowing whatever ideas are in my head to flow out and to become part of this list. I'm not going to judge anything. I'm not to shoot anything down. Anything that pops into my head is going onto my piece of paper. And that's probably one of the biggest suggestions that I have for you, because one of the largest challenges for people when they are experiencing claircognizance, they're learning through claircognizance, is doubt. Because when intuitive messages come through in the form of thoughts and ideas, nope, excuse me, when intuitive messages come through as thoughts and ideas, it feels like everybody should know it, because it's just there. It feels like it's a thought. It feels like it's common sense. And because it seems like it's common sense, ego says, well, everybody knows that, or that's not true, or whatever. So if you take time to practice brainstorming and becoming really comfortable with not judging the thoughts and ideas that pop into your head, it's easier to start working with your claircognizance. And so again, I would invite in any beings of light that want to help and support you in developing claircognizance. But in particular, as I said, I would invite in Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raziel, Raziel. Jesus was popping up, and Melzicheki. But those feel like they are really helpful and supportive. Let me see. I'm going to pull a card for Steve. If you would like to ask a question, I will hop on and I will grab it. The card that we have for you, Steve, is Passion. This is Archangel Haniel, and I love working with Haniel. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. I'm going to say that this is renewed passion in spiritual work and in spirit work that you are focusing on. Allow yourself to explore, to experience, to enjoy. I don't know what's going on with that lighting, but to just allow yourself to enjoy the process and to become passionate about the process. Steve, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. I was able to grab this one. Hi. I feel like I need to do something new in 2025, wondering what direction I should go. I feel stagnant and needing something new and fresh. Okay, let's take a look and see what we have for you, my friend, my Facebook user friend. Yeah, I'm feeling the need to shake things up too. And this is actually coming on like a physical level. So before you start putting energy into like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? It feels like there's a lot that you're literally needing to shake off. And if I remember correctly from the last time this message came up, it's a Taylor Swift song that I've got coming up, and just like shake it off. So literally, physically, go through, what am I holding in my body? What am I feeling in my body? And dance it out, move it out, shake it out. But it is stuck literally physically in your body. And that is going to help to not only like let go of where you've been, what you've done, literally shake it off, but it helps to create space and room for new experiences and for new ideas. So let me ask about what we've got coming up for new ideas. Like, I feel the need to start a new project, and I want to be excited about something because it feels like it's been a while since you've been really excited about something. Like, I could just sink my teeth into it. You can't see it, but like, I'm over here. I've got the bum wiggle going on. Like, that's how excited I want to feel about this thing with you and for you. Is so excited that you've got the bum wiggle going on. What are we doing? We're doing something creative. We're doing something that you can really, do whatever it is that you want. So I'm going to say that this is some form of self-guided work or career. So we're moving into something that is self-employed, or we've got some sort of like contract that you're doing, but it feels like this is your own. I'm not feeling really being tied down by somebody at this point. It feels like you're going to be working for somebody in the future, again, like on a contractual basis or on a collaborative basis, but where you're able to kind of share that vision, share that work, and then you're off and you're doing something else. The other thing that I'm seeing coming up for you is it feels like it's helpful if you have a very clear start and a very clear end for the projects that you're working on. Because the longer they go, the more involved they are, the more that it feels like it kind of starts to drain you and you kind of shrink in. And it feels like I need to have something that I can be excited about, that I can put my energy into, that I can come into completion relatively easily, so I can move on to the next thing that I'm going to be equally excited about, that I can put equal amounts of exciting energy into, and I'm going to move on from that one. So yeah, I feel like we've got something creative that's coming up, but I'm having a hard time pinpointing exactly what it is that you're focusing and you're working on. But I do very strongly feel that the big thing to kind of coming to that point is literally being able to physically get out of your body, and get the old stuff out of your body and to shake it up. I'm going to put it out there. I know that I saw a couple of people. Let me see if I can get one here. No. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I'm going to come back to you. Am I Sophia? Am I coming back to you in a moment? Shoot. Okay, I'm going to invite you guys. give me a question in the comments, and I will finish up with this reading here. The card that we have for you, my Facebook user friend, is Divine Order. This is Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and the underlying disorder. What this says to me is that everything is exactly where it needs to be. So like that kind of discomfort that was coming up, that stagnant energy, is there for a reason. And the reason is to have you kind of build up the energy to move past, to move beyond, to have the energy that you need to move into the next phase and into the next state that you're in. So where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. Facebook user, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Okay, I'm going to try and read this person's question. Planning to reduce my work hours to be able to concentrate on my health and also focus on opportunities other than my passion. What else do we say? Same time, I have no idea why, but I feel, I'm so sorry, commenter. The comment is too long. I'm not able to read it in the time that I have before this spammer is showing up. So if you could post it again, a really succinct question, I'd love to connect with you and see what's coming up for you. So guys, only just a couple of lines, because I'm not able to read anything more than that with this spammer coming in. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a person here. They're saying we find dimes all the time. Is it a family member or more than one? Yeah, absolutely. Whew, it's at times like these that I wish Bobbi was here because she is a medium and that is literally what she does. And mediumship is not my forte, but I do have family members that are coming through. I also have a younger man who is popping up as well. This feels like this is a friend or a family friend who's coming in. Younger is such a relative term because he's showing me being kind of in his late teens, early 20s, but I feel like he was older than that when he passed. So I'm going to say that this was somebody who was really young when he passed. You're like, 35, that's just so young. There's still so much life ahead, or even 50 is so young. There's just so much life ahead. That's kind of the energy I have coming up with him. He shows me that he was really connected to at least one person in the family. So this feels like this is possibly more specifically for one person as opposed to everyone when you say we. But he shows me that there was like a closeness, that there's a lot of love, having really good times together. Like I feel like I could sit down and talk to him for ages. He was a really good sport, um really cares about people. So I do have family members, but I also have this other person who's coming up really strongly. And he says when you find the dimes, he keeps showing me like opening bottles. So I'm going to say that this is possibly like some sort of alcohol that's being consumed with him. And he's showing me like, save up all of the dimes that you're finding so that we can have a good time. And he's also relating to me that I don't know exactly where you are, Poster, but certainly in BC and I think the rest of Canada, all returnable containers now have a 10-cent deposit on them. And he's like, save up all of those deposits because we're going to have drinks. We're going to have a good time. What else is he saying? I wish that he'd give me something that's really like straightforward and to the point that just says, like confirms who he is. But he shows me that he really enjoys laughing. He would rather laugh than cry. And he's saying that for those who have been left behind as well, is he would rather that you laugh and enjoy life and think about him than to cry and to miss him. Because he says that life is too short to spend it crying if you could be laughing and having fun and enjoying instead. So Facebook user, I hope that resonates for you and for the others in your life. I'm just going to pull a quick card to see what message we have coming up. Of course, we've got Archangel Raphael with breathe, with slowing down to take some time. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. What I'm going to say is, whenever you or a member of the family finds a dime, take a moment to breathe and to see and feel who is coming up around you. So as much as possible, be a blank slate and allow them to share like a thought or an idea or an image or something you laugh about, to giggle about, because it feels like that's part of how they really want to connect with you. I've got, again, lots of humor that's coming up. So this person feels like they're wanting to really share laughter and humor with you. Facebook user, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this afternoon. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you and your loved ones too. All right, let me just see here. Can I read all of this? Oh, I can. Hi, Haley. It's great to see you. I'm currently in the optical field and considering becoming an optician. Cool. Any messages would be wonderful. Wishing you peace and blessings in this new year. Awesome, Haley. I'm so grateful that you joined us, and thank you for asking a question that would fit on the whole screen. I appreciate it. What do we have coming up for you? Yes. I feel like we could be really silly and I could say something like, I see you becoming an optician. But that feels like that would just be a little too cheesy, even for me. But yeah, I really want to encourage you to explore moving even more solidly and firmly into that field, because it feels like there are lots of opportunities for you within that. I also see that you do really wonderful work there. And yes, Yes. So when I ask a couple of different questions. One, how are you working currently in the industry? And I get like big check marks. There's lots of excitement there. It feels like you're well received by your coworkers, by your bosses, and also by the public that you work with. When I ask about like the training and education coming up around becoming an optician, I get a lot of a lot of check marks there. It feels like also there's potentially additional support that's available for you through that training as well. So potentially with the company that you're currently working with, that they may offer to offset some of the financial expenses that are involved with becoming an optician, and then in exchange for agreeing to stay with them for a certain amount of time. But I do really want to encourage you to explore that, because it does feel like there are some options and opportunities to move through the whole program, and also potentially a bit of mentorship as well, which feels really great. So yes, please, Haley, explore this. It feels like there's a lot of opportunity and growth available to you. Oh my gosh. Archangel Michael, or pardon me, Raphael. I've been shuffling the cards as I've been talking. So breathe message is coming up really strongly. And I'm going to say possibly this is a bit for me as well, because this person is really starting to get to me. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. So when this card comes up again, it's a message to slow down to a certain extent, to make sure that you're connecting with your own energy, with your own intuition. And part of what I'm hearing with that too is to not be afraid to step into this and to try this. The sense that I have is that there might be a bit of hesitation from an educational point of view. And I'm seeing that you have lots of support. As I said, like they're showing me financial support, they're showing me mentorship, they're showing me job and career on the other side. And it also feels like you are more than capable of doing this from like an academic point of view as well. They're kind of flashing in that maybe there were some challenging experiences before. So this could be like elementary school, high school, or post-secondary education. And part of what they're telling me is that this is a completely different experience. I just had a card popped out as I was sharing that. We have the All Is Well card. This is Archangel Jeremiel. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings that you will soon understand. I mean, when this card comes up, it is saying that everything is okay, that you're going to be okay, that you have the resources that you need to do this. So trust yourself, and allow the doubt to be something for the past. Awesome. Haley, I'm so grateful that you joined us. Sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Oh, that's beautiful. We have some New Year blessings to all of us. So everyone who's on the live today or watching it later, from a beautiful Facebook user, thank you so much. So I'm going to go back and see if I can find another question here. Also, feel free to. Here we go. So we've got Pat here. Hi, Pat. Thanks for joining us. The reading you are doing sounds like it's so like my son. Oh yes, and yes to the dimes everywhere. Was he making my grandson giggle? Grandson turned his back on us and had a conversation with someone. Pat, let's ask. Oh man, when I connect with the energy of your son, I see him just kind of coming into, I'm going to call this the living room, sitting down, putting his feet up, and just being so comfortable, being at home, being with everybody who's there. Absolutely, I see your grandson having a really wonderful conversation with him, and your son shows me that he really connects with him and engages with him, and there's so much love here. I feel like I'm starting to tear up. There is so much love, and there's just so much joy, and there's a lot of peace that's coming up around your son. And he's saying that he wants you to know that he's okay. And he says that he knows that everyone still cries, and he wants you to know that he loves you, but that he doesn't want that for you or for any of you. He wants you to be joyful and at peace. The energy is pretty big with him in a really beautiful and loving way. And he shows me that he sits with you often at night especially, because it feels like at night it is the hardest time to not be with him, to not have him. It becomes really really apparent that he's not there, and so he wants you to know that he always comes and sits with you at night, and to let you know how much he loves you and appreciates you for all that you did for him, all that you still do for him. And he shows me for the next generation too. Oh, Pat, I'm so sorry. That was really emotional and really beautiful. Your son feels like a really amazing person. And I'm grateful that you had him in your life, and wish that you had him for longer. Um, I just pulled a quick card for you. And the message is moon cycles. And this is Archangel Haniel. And her message is, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize upon these cycles. And I mean, yes, I can certainly see that from a manifestation point of view, but I actually wonder if it may be easier at certain times in the lunar cycle for him to come down and to connect with you. And I kind of want to explore and experience that over the next couple of days, because we're coming into the energy of the new moon. The new moon is when there's no light that's coming from the moon, and it's in darkness, and it allows us to become really introspective. So over the next couple of days, the new moon is tomorrow. Take some time to allow your son to come through and to speak with you, because man, his energy is big and strong, and he really wants you to know that he's around. Pat, I'm so incredibly grateful that you hopped on this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you and to your giggling grandson. What an amazing little guy. All right, let me just see who we have here for questions. I've got about 30 of these spam messages. And so we're just going to go right down to the bottom. All right, guys, now is a great time to pop in a question if you have one, because hopefully I will be able to see it. Nope. Because I know that I've missed people. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness. Absolutely no need to apologize. That's just one of the things that pops up for me with working with spirit, is their energy can be really big in a really beautiful way. They really pull on the heartstrings, and I know it's just a fraction of what they experience and what you experience as their loved one too. So there's no apology necessary. And I'm so incredibly grateful that he came through. I'm more than happy to channel and share that. So I thank your son too for that message. Awesome. Oops. Let me just see. Do we have, and then I just lost it. Here we go. If you have a question, please feel free to pop it in. I'm only able to get back so far before this spammer pops a comment in. Here we go. Thank you. Facebook user. Hi, I just broke up with my partner. Oh, feeling like maybe I made a mistake. Okay, so first of all, sending big hugs, love, and support your way. It's really challenging. I don't do an awful lot with astrology, but I do see little bits and pieces that people share on social media and on Facebook and whatnot. And one of the things that's come up for this time right now, and over I think about the next week, is that relationships are really coming to a head, and that change, kind of unexpected change, is something that is coming to the forefront, and almost a feeling of being a bit not possessed, but like this came from out of nowhere. I don't really understand why I made this change. So I don't want to put words into your mouth. But when it comes to change, yes, it can be difficult and challenging. Let me ask specifically for your situation. Um, when I ask about your relationship, what I'm seeing is that there could be a couple of things that you could do to shift and adjust and navigate relationship and to continue. But what I'm seeing is that it feels like those adjustments aren't things that are going to stay or are actually going to change the overall energy of the relationship and the dynamic. So it might be kind of a band-aid for 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, but what I'm seeing is that it wouldn't be something that's long term. So there are really beautiful aspects to the relationship that you've just ended, but it also feels like there were a lot of challenging aspects too. And part of what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of work that would need to be done. I see that you would be happy to do. But I'm not sure that on the other side, it was something that would be sustainable in the long term. And so I do see that there is something kind of over the next couple of weeks where there could be an opening to go back if you chose. But it doesn't feel like this was a mistake that was made. It feels like part of what it did was it brought the beginning of closure a couple of months earlier than what could have happened if you had decided to work on things a little longer. It feels like the relationship kind of had a bit of a deadline to it that you could have extended out, as I said, 3 or 4 or 5 months. But it feels like you would be in exactly the same position then as you are now. Um, I'm kind of wanting to send you really big hugs and lots of support because it feels like it came sooner than expected, and that possibly you weren't completely ready for this change, but the change feels like it's something that was going to happen soon. And so part of what I'm seeing is the adjustment to not being in the relationship is the biggest challenge. I want to pull a card for you and just see what messages we have coming up. Life review. This feels so appropriate. This is Archangel Jeremiel, and his message is take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is imbalanced. And I think that kind of hits the nail on the head. Whether it's something that you did consciously or subconsciously, it does feel like there were things that just weren't balancing. And it feels like there are some shifts and changes and adjustments that will come. I do want to encourage you to take some time coming out of this because, as I said, there's a bit of almost like a bit of shock that's kind of coming up and not feeling quite ready, but at the same time also ready. So give yourself some time and some space to process and to heal and to move forward. But it feels like this was something that was inevitable. So whether it was now, whether it was 3 months or 4 months or 5 months from now, it feels like it was something that was going to happen, and that this is an opportunity for you to start moving forward. So Facebook user, I'm grateful that you joined us. Thank you so much for hopping on, and I'm sending lots of love and support to you and your partner too, because this feels like this was possibly a bit of a surprise for them as well. So I'm sending lots of love to both of you. Lots of healing too. Awesome. I know, whoops, there we go. I was just about to grab that comment, and this comment came in. Oh, no. Okay, you guys, I'm going to ask you to post your questions again because I'm not able to get back far enough to where the comments came in. So if you have a question, now is a really great time to drop it into the comments, and we'll see who else is ready for a message. Whoops, was that one? No. Oh, No. No, I'm just going to wait for you. I'm not going to scroll back to find any more because it just keeps kind of popping up. So while we do that, I'm going to share a card that just popped out for me. This is the sensitivity card. And man, am I really feeling it. Whoa. Okay. Let me just see here. Okay. All right. So we've got Janess here. Hi, Janess. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to come back to this card because you did share a question. So Janess is saying, we are concerned about Sophia, wondering if you can tell anything about what is happening with her. Yeah. So I'm hearing for Sophia, I'm hearing the words pregnant pause. And so it feels like she's in a little bit of a ball. Like this is such a gross analogy, but it's what I'm seeing. It's kind of like if you get like a cut and then like a little a little dome of like pus forms on top of it, like a protection. That's kind of where I see her right now. So I'm going to say that there is some hurt that it feels like she's experiencing, that she's moving through, but she is moving through it. And there's this sense of needing to withdraw in order to do that. That's where I'm feeling her finding her strength and support is in withdrawing. However, I do want to encourage people. How do I say this? People who would be safe for her to allow in, to reach out, to check in on her, and to make sure that she has the resources that she needs. She shows me that she's really particular about how she moves through the healing work that she does for herself and how she focuses on that. But I am seeing that there are some resources that could be available to her that would help and support her in moving through this. She's showing me she's really wanting and needing to do this on her own, but I'm feeling the need to have safe community around her. And so when I talk about safe community, I mean people who aren't going to express judgment for where she is or how she's dealing with things. She needs people who are going to support her without question. And so at this point, that's where she is, where she needs to be. And I am wanting to keep in touch with her as much as possible. She is going through a really difficult and challenging time, and community is going to be important for her in the coming months. But it feels like at this point there's something that she needs to focus on doing alone, on her own, that she can't have other people interfering with what she's doing and how she's doing it, because she needs to do it on her terms and in her own way. And the people who are coming up around her to support her feel like they are her friend community, possibly a couple of family members, but I'm really wanting to focus on healthy friend community at this point. This is so interesting. Like, there have been only 5 cards that have popped up today. We keep getting the same cards over and over again. This is Archangel Raziel, and it's the spiritual understanding card. His message is, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. That's really interesting. And I'm wondering if Sophia is a younger person, or possibly younger in her journey. That might be another way to put it, because it feels like there is something that she is pushing against, to really be herself. And that this could also be part of what she is learning about herself and about the world and about her connection with the world as well. It's it, it feels like you are right to be concerned, but it also feels like there are only so many people she will allow in. And as I said, that those people have to be really safe people. So they have to be people who are willing to take the lead, or willing for her to take the lead in how things are being navigated over the next little while. Janess, I'm so incredibly grateful that you hopped on, that you were persistent, that you asked a question. It's always such a pleasure to connect with you. I'm sending big hugs, love, and support to you and to Sophia too. It feels like there's a lot of change and transition happening in her world that will bring her to a really positive place. Okay, I'm going to see if I can. There we go. Oh, okay, so we've got Pat here. Awesome. So Pat's asking, what's coming for 2025? Let's take a look and see. Um, oh, okay, so I've got some I've got some bum wiggling that's going on again. And so like I've got some movement that's coming up. I'm really wanting to encourage you to stretch it all in through your lower body, like in through your hips, your low back. And I'm kind of wanting to encourage you to do some strengthening in those areas too. They're showing me doing something that looks a little bit like a tightrope walk, like don't actually get a rope that you walk on, but this feels like you can do this in a safer way, like squarely on the ground, one foot in front of the other. And I'm wanting to kind of work on balance and balancing. So making sure that you're strengthening. And then once that's under control, it feels like we've got some travel that's coming up in 2025. And as soon as I say that, I feel myself like withdrawing and holding back. And I'm not exactly sure if this is you or if this is somebody else who would be close to you. So this would be husband, partner, or possibly loved ones who are concerned about you traveling. But I want to say, screw you. Sorry, no, please don't actually say that to your loved ones. um, Say something like, "Hey, it's my life to choose what I want to do, and to try new things. But I've got travel and new experiences coming up really strongly for you in 2025, and so I suspect that those initial messages that I had around like stabilizing and strengthening and stretching were so that you were in a place where you were comfortable to explore. I'm seeing a fair amount of walking that's coming up. Um, this could just be because it's been on my mind, but I'm seeing like the cobbled streets that you would see in places in Europe. Specifically, Scotland has been on my mind for myself. So I'm going to say that this is also probably a place that you've been thinking about, that maybe it would be kind of interesting to explore, to see what's happening, what opportunities could be available. But I really want to encourage you to do something that feels like it might be a little outside of your comfort zone. And I go back to the messages that your son had, and basically what he was saying was, I love you, and experience life, experience the world, and do things that you enjoy, try new things. So I've got lots of energy that's coming up around that. I have two cards that popped out for you. The first one is the beloved one card. This is Archangel Shamuel. I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. So it feels like that person that was popping up earlier may be a partner who's either not wanting to travel themselves or is concerned about travel and possibly being away. And then the second card that we have here is Archangel Ariel, and her message is all about courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So this could be part of where that kind of screw you messaging was coming in. I love Archangel Ariel because she is like the girlfriend who will always have your back. Um, and she can be a little bit sassy. I mean, angels don't have ego, but if they did have ego, she'd be really sassy. And she'd be the person that you could go to and say, "Hey, I have this dead body." And Archangel Ariel would be like, "Cool, I've got shovels and I know where to go." So basicallyArchangel Ariel is popping up and saying, "Hey, like let's be courageous, let's try something new, let's get out of the comfort zone this year." I'm so glad that you asked the question, Pat. It's always a pleasure connecting with you, and I hope that you're also going to let us know about the adventures you're going on this year. Okay, so we have Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. I just joined and not sure if you're doing readings. If so, I would really appreciate a reading if drawn to me. Okay, yeah, Michelle, if you want to ask a specific question, I would absolutely love to do a reading for you, and just see what messages are coming up. Give me a moment, or pop your question in right now. I have a spammer who's on, and he or she keeps bumping my comments up, so I'm not able to see questions in the order they come in. So yeah, please drop in a question. I'd love to see. Okay. Oh, we've got a Facebook user here. When is the best time to go on a trip to explore the land of our ancestors? Oh, that sounds amazing. Well, first of all, it feels like there are lots of different times. I'm going to ask specifically for you. And part of what I'm hearing is during a time when there are cultural experiences that help to bring you closer to understanding your ancestors. The example that I'm being shown would be like October and Oktoberfest, if you were wanting to connect with German roots and heritage. But I'm really strongly being drawn into like the UK. And so there are lots of different times that would be a really beautiful time to connect there. The spring and the fall in particular are popping up. I also am kind of flashing in, and I'm seeing in parts of Asia as well. Oh, so many beautiful times. Yeah, it feels like the choice is coming up for you with when things are happening and the things that you're wanting to explore and to experience. And the sense that I have is that there are some occasions, some things that you've always thought, man, that would be really cool to see and to experience. I'm also seeing really connecting with the countryside and with greenery and with the nature in the land of your ancestors too. And so for me, this feels like this is popping up kind of more in the spring and then again in the fall. Those feel like those are really powerful times. Interestingly, the summer isn't really coming to the forefront for you. So either it's not a great time for travel for you, possibly in general, or where you're going, it's maybe the climate is too much. But I'm really wanting to focus on the spring and on the fall. And yeah, immersing yourself as much as possible. It feels like you've got a couple of weeks that you're able to spend, which is amazing. And I'm really wanting to encourage you to get out into the countryside. So actually, kind of away from a lot of the people and the towns, and really immersing yourself in the country. Awesome, Facebook user. I'm so. Oh, hold on. Let's pull you a card. What do we have here? Gifts from God. We have Archangel Sandalphon, and his message is, we bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. So Archangel Sandalphon, part of the work that he does is he lifts and raises our prayers up to God, source, universe, creator, whatever your belief system is. He helps to facilitate that. And so when the gifts from God card comes up, that really says to me that there is work happening on a universal level that's helping and supporting the dream and the vision that you have for connecting with your ancestors, connecting with the land of your ancestors. So know that you're not alone in this, and also look for potential openings or opportunities. So maybe you see a flight that comes on sale or a package that comes on sale, something kind of along those lines, where basically universe is saying, hey, like, let's help to get you there and to make sure you have the experiences that you're looking for. Oops. I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening, Facebook user. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. And I just saw a question come in, so I just grabbed it. Okay, so the question we have here from somebody on Facebook is, does anything come up for my relationship? Hoping for a more peaceful 2025. Yes, but what I'm seeing is that it's dependent upon what you are willing to do to help to create the peaceful. And actually, that feels like that's coming in from a boundary point of view. And so this feels like this is kind of complicated and convoluted, because I'm seeing people outside of your relationship that are having an effect and an impact on the relationship that you have. So this could be in friends saying, well, I don't think that person is good for you, or they've done this and this and this and this and this, and nothing's ever changed. So it feels like you or your partner have people who are going like this and are overly involved in your relationship. So I'm seeing a bit of boundary that's coming up there. And then part of what I'm seeing is, once those boundaries are up, it feels like you're focusing on choosing what it is that you want and what you need in relationship and partnership, and getting your partner on board with that too. I'm really wanting to focus on, like, it's the two of us together, and we're going to be able to face whatever comes our way. And so it feels like there's a refocusing in your relationship. So yes, there is more peace that's coming up in 2025, but a lot of it has to do with how you're focusing on working together, not against what's coming up, against something, but how you're going to work together as the day-to-day life challenges come up in 2025. I'm also hearing and seeing something about health. So I don't know if one of you has maybe had some health challenge or health experience that you've overcome, but I'm seeing that health feels like it's also easier in 2025. And again, it feels like it's shifts and changes that have been made, possibly help that has been accessed over the last couple of years. But it does feel like, from a health perspective, there are less challenges that are coming to the forefront, which is awesome because that's freed up a lot of time, energy, and like other resources that both of you are able to redirect into your relationship and partnership, and into your own overall health and well-being as individuals. Let's just see what we have coming up for you. We have the outdoors card. This is Archangel Jophiel, and her message is: go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. So part of what that says to me is, yes, it is important to be getting outside, to be getting out of the house, either doing things together or making sure that you're taking time to be outside on your own. There's definitely a feeling for a need for self rejuvenation, and also just that act of like being outside, connecting with nature feels like that's also helping to support and promote peace as well. I know that wasn't specifically what you were asking about, but it does feel like it helps to contribute to a more peaceful year in 2025. So make it a date with yourself or with your partner, to be getting out on a regular basis through 2025 to help with that balancing energy. A Facebook user, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this afternoon. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and lots of blessings for 2025. Okay, I feel like, where are we going? Oh, I saw one just a moment there. Oh, here we go. What do we have? Oh, Michelle, perfect. If there's something of importance, okay, that is going to happen for me in 2025. Okay, so let's see what we have coming up for you, Michelle. That's kind of a vague question. So we're not going to partnership and relationships. So there's not a huge amount of change that's happening there, or it's change that you already know about. We're not going into work. We're not going into family. I feel like we've got something that's popping up around travel, and also something that's coming through around project. And I know that I said there wasn't something coming up around work, but I feel like we've got some sort of project that you're starting that may have to do with travel, and that there's a certain amount of excitement that's coming up with that. So first and foremost, it feels like we've got some travel that's coming up. I feel like we've got one, two, three for sure, some form of trip that's coming up for you in 2025. I mean, travel and trips means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. This could be a weekend away if that's not part of what you're usually doing. But I also see that this could be something that looks like it's a little bit longer. So we could have, sorry, I meant to say a weekend away. I don't know if I said weekend or week, but this could also be a week away, and then something that looks like it's a little bit bigger. So I've got lots of different types of travel that are coming up. The majority of it feels like it's pleasure travel, but also I'm seeing something that's popping in that feels like it's getting a really cool idea coming to the forefront. And it feels like there's some training that's involved, and that there's something that you're going to focus on that is, it's project based, it's work based, it's something that you are creating, but there's also another support system that's involved with it too. This could be a project that you're thinking about that is based from home, but that you're able to expand and make connections in other places, which is going to help to facilitate more travel in the future. That could certainly be part of what we're seeing here. But I feel like we've got projects that are connected to travel that is, first and foremost, personal, but then also becomes a little bit of like work business, something that's on the side. This feels like we're kind of thinking outside of the box with this too. So this may be outside of your comfort zone. The first thing in order to start bringing all of these things together is to make sure that you're allocating time and other resources to allow yourself to travel in 2025. And again, if you're not currently somebody who does a lot of travel, then focusing on something that looks like it's a weekend, a night away, and then something that looks like it's a little bit bigger from there. But Michelle, it feels like you've got some really interesting experiences that are coming up, and I'm really excited to see what this like project slash side business side thing that you're doing, what's coming up for that, because it feels really exciting. Let's see what we have for you. We have the Clairsentience card. So Clairsentience, this is Archangel Raguel. And the message here is notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. Clairsentience is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. Sometimes people refer to this as being empathic, and it literally means clear feelings. So getting physical sensation in the body or coming through an emotion. So an example of physical sensation might be walking into the room and you can feel the tension. You can cut the tension with a knife, or getting goosebumps when somebody says something and it really resonates for you. Emotion might be picking up on other people's emotions and experiences, or feeling a significant shift and change in your energy levels. One of the ways that I love exploring clairsentience at kind of like an introductory and beginning level is an exercise that I call trying on a decision. And basically what you do is you do like a scan through of your body. How is your body feeling? And then you make the decision to the positive. So let's say it's taking a job. So you would try on the decision of taking on the job and see what it feels like to go into that job, to work that job, to wake up in the morning, and how do you feel about going into that job, and what does your routine look like, and how does it feel to be there, and seeing how your body reacts to having made that decision. And then, clearing your body and then trying again in the opposite direction. So choosing not to make that decision and maybe waiting for another opportunity. So there are lots of different ways that you can explore clairsentience, but basically this card coming up is saying, pay attention to how you're feeling, what your energy is as you're moving forward into 2025. And one thing that's kind of popping up for me with that very last one is a reminder that anxiety and nervousness can be the same feeling and experience that we have as excitement or moving into something that is unknown but is equally positive. So just being aware of that as you move into 2025, because there are definitely lots of things that are coming that feel like they are outside of your comfort zone, but are exciting. And so don't mistake that for anxiety and nervousness. Michelle, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us and that you asked a question, because I know that we spoke earlier. So thank you so much for being a little more specific. It was wonderful connecting with you. My friends, I think that we've come to the end of our time together. I wish that we'd been able to connect with more people today. And I'm truly sorry about this spammer that we've had on the entire show. That's really draining. Bobbi and I are going to be moving to a new, what do you call it? We're going to be moving to a new platform in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. I'm Erin Lee of heavenlymessenger.com, psychic and angel card reader. It's for the month of January, and actually I'm extending it into the middle of February because the cards that I sent out went out a bit later than expected due to the strike with Canada Post. So every year I offer 20% off in the months of December and January for readings booked during that time, and also gift certificates purchased at that time. Gift certificates can be used at any point in the future. They are for phone, Skype, and Zoom readings. And you can visit bookingwitherin.com/gratitude. All of the pricing there has already been adjusted to reflect the 20% discount. And again, that's for appointments booked for January up until February the 14th, and for gift certificates purchased during that time as well. Bobbi and I will be back at some point in the near future on a new platform where we can see people's names and we can easily boot out people that are not contributing to the overall wellness of the show. I wish you a beautiful new moon tomorrow night, a very happy new year into 2025, and I look forward to connecting with you all again soon. Oops. I don't know if this is actually ending or what the heck is going on, but